Hello and welcome. I'm Christopher from Learnry, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at some of the best practices when writing JavaScript. So the primary goal when developing say a website is to make sure that the pages of the website load as quickly as possible. Now when loading a script, the web browser can't do anything else until the entire script file has been loaded, and this can sometimes result in the user having to wait for some time before noticing any progress at all. So if you have JavaScript files whose only purpose is to add functionality, for example, after a button is clicked, then it is a best practice to go ahead and place those files at the bottom just before the closing body tag. So commenting your code might seem unnecessary at first, but trust me, you want to comment your code as best as possible. So what happens when you return to one of your projects months later only to find that you can't easily remember what your line of thinking was? Or what if one of your colleagues need to revise your code? So it is always a best practice to comment some important sections of your code. So one of the rules of JavaScript is that every line of code has to be ended with a semicolon, because it is the only way the JavaScript engine is able to know where the end of a piece of code is. But technically, most web browsers will allow you get away with omitting semicolons. Now, having said this, let me be quick to add that this can be a very bad practice and can potentially lead to much bigger and harder to find issues in your code. So the best practice here is that anytime a line of code is written in JavaScript, you have to end that particular line with a semicolon. So anytime you have a long list of variable declarations with the var keyword, it is always a best practice to use only one var keyword and then separate each variable declaration with commas. So it is always a good practice to reduce the number of global variables in your code, because by reducing your global variable footprint to a single variable, you significantly reduce the chance of bad interactions with other variables in other applications, widgets, or even libraries. Again, JavaScript utilizes two different kinds of equality or inequality operators, which we have looked at in the previous videos. Now, it is considered best practice to always use the strict equality operator instead of the loose equality operator, and the same can be said for the strict inequality and loose inequality operators when comparing variables. So instead of calling a function in JavaScript, it is best practice to make a function run automatically when a page loads or a parent function is called, and the way to achieve this is to simply wrap your function in parentheses and then append an additional set of parentheses which essentially calls the function when the page loads. So I would like to finally end by saying that reading books is more beneficial because the concepts in books are well explained and also explained in details than other materials for learning. So I will include links to some of the best JavaScript books that have served me well in my quest to learning JavaScript in the description section below. Okay guys, so that is going to be all for this video, and if you enjoy these videos that I create, I urge you to click on the subscribe button because it encourages me to create more of these kinds of videos. And if you have any comments at all about some of the best practices we talked about in this video, I urge you to leave it in the comment section below. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.